Hey there, y'all. It's Melanie Ferguson with Southern Crush at Home, and I am coming to you guys live tonight. I don't know how many of y'all saw the photo that I posted of the Christmas messy bow, but we are going to try to make one of those tonight. So I have some random ribbons here. As you hop on, say hey, let me know where you're watching from and what all's going on tonight. I believe it's Wednesday night. I mean, if you're watching this on replay, then maybe it's not. As you do this, I will pick someone for one of the Home for the Holidays tea towels because that's what I'm doing for this month. Hey, Shar, how are you tonight? All right, so as you hop on, like I said, tell me where you're watching from. Amanda from Charlotte, welcome. So we're going to just recreate a Christmas messy bow. A lot of you guys that have been following me for a while know about the messy bow. So a lot of people have been trying to recreate it. It's a little different. I know some people have said it was similar to some other bows that they've seen. Y'all, there's really a lot of new bows. This one is just my version. I call it a messy bow. And really, it's so easy. I want to show you guys. So this Christmas one, we're going to do, before I get started, I want to make sure that if anybody missed my mesh bow, it's over on the blog. This is one of them, and it can be used as a tree topper. So this mesh bow is super, super, super easy. It has here we go. It has a rubber band in the center, makes it super easy to put on different things, packages, tops of trees, all the different things. So you can also, like I said on this one, you can add stuff to the center and make it even more flashy, however you want to do. But this is the mesh bow, not to be confused with the messy bow. Hey, Rhonda from South Georgia. Yay, Emily. Yes, I am live finally. So I've been at a conference the last couple of days, and before that we were out of town. So there's that. So welcome back myself. Welcome myself back myself. All right, so we're gonna just use all these different ribbons, and we've got, oh my, all the ribbons. Let me show you. This is the fun part, y'all. All the different ribbons, and then some of this. I'll show you what I have here. So I want to show you the ribbons up close. Can you count them? Can you see them? This is kind of glary. This one is, they're all, none of them, I don't think, well, this one's a little wired, but we don't really necessarily want them wired. These two are vintage ribbons. So you're going to ask me where they're from. They're from a thrift store, y'all. They're vintage ribbons. You can find some of these things online or other places, but there's definitely new ones that are going to be similar that you're going to be able to find. This is just what I have, so this is what I'm using. And that's what I always try to encourage you guys, to create and decorate a home that you love using what you already have. That's like my new tagline, right? All right, I'm going to put this back here to remind us what we're doing for the tea towel, the Home for the Holidays tea towel. All right, let's get started. This bow is so much fun because it's so easy. So these are little pieces of polka dot satin ribbon that I had left over from another project. As you can see, they're already knotted from a different project. So I'm going to unknot them. Boom, I have ribbon for my project. And I don't know, you're going to probably also ask me how many strips. Y'all, it's a lot of strips. It's as many strips as you can manage, okay? I'm also going to add, I failed to mention, I'm going to be adding burlap. Burlap is my secret ingredient to a messy bow. So you definitely want to have some burlap, whether it's colored burlap or plain burlap. It's just a great thing to add. So we're going to be using my famous fabric scissors. They're the gold scissors that nobody's allowed to use. Nobody's allowed to use them but me, right? Okay, so as far as lengths, y'all, it's just however big you want your bow to be. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and start on this scrap piece of burlap, and I'm just going to cut it like this, and I believe I'm going to cut it in half again. I'm just trying to see about how long these strips are. yeah, this is really big. So I'm probably going to cut it down about a third off of that. So that's about how long, this is how long it's going to be. All right, so I've got one strip. I'm just going to cut a couple more strips of burlap. The ribbons are usually a little easier to cut. This, I'm just guessing, y'all, you don't want them all the same size. Just need to be similar sizes. Okay, and a lot of times my favorite thing to do is to use fabric, because fabric for this project works so dang well, and super cute. You can find so many cotton fabrics that are fun holiday prints that will go perfectly on this. So all of you people who always ask me, what are you going to do with the other ribbon? I don't waste anything. So if you followed me for a while, you'll know I probably will make a separate tiny bow with this one. In fact, I've got another bow I want to share with y'all soon. I don't think we'll do it on this one, but it's a double messy bow. It's a double messy bow. So, woo, be prepared. All right, I'm going to do one more in case, just to grow on. One more strip of burlap. And so here's my last piece. And I'm just kind of throwing it out here. I've got another piece of polka dot, and I have a few more polka dots because I just love the polka dot ribbon. It's so awesome. Hi, Mary and Tammy. Welcome tonight. I'm so glad you're able to hop on with me. And then I'm going to add some of this plaid. It's definitely a plaid. So you're going to probably ask, do I dog ear? Do I just cut it? Y'all, it's completely up to you. Another reason I like using regular fabric is because, which I'm not using tonight, is because you can fray the ends and it makes it even messier. So the messier, the better for the messy bow. And I have no rhyme or reason, which is going to make some people crazy, as to how many strips. Just a lot. Is that helpful? A lot. So this is just a kind of almost like a peppermint stripe. I think it's got a better, I think it's got two different sides. Some of these will be longer, some of them will be shorter. You can be particular about your messy bow and you can make it all the same length, or you can make it all different heights. And these bows are so versatile. You can use them on packages. You can use them as ornaments for your tree. Hey, Kim, I'm so glad you didn't miss this either. You tried this on your own, but you just winged it. Yes, that's fine too. Listen, that is the beauty, y'all. Anyone can make something. Anyone can make something. And anyone can make their own version. This is just satin ribbon. This is just a green satin ribbon. That's what I think is hilarious, is when people say somebody copied somebody, because there's no way to copy. Everybody's is different. You couldn't make two of the exact same thing if you tried. That's what makes it handmade. That's what makes it handmade. So I am cutting this. The scissors weren't as sharp as they're supposed to be, y'all. I think somebody used them behind my back on something other than fabric. That's a shame, because these were my sharpest scissors. Dang it. That's okay. So I've got a few greens. I'm not going to add a ton of green. And then my last color, y'all, is the white. So I'm adding the white. So here's the thought process behind the different strips that I used. The burlap adds texture, and it adds that neutral kind of a home base color, it adds a little bit of farmhouse. It adds a little bit of flair. The white is that pop of something stark. It has a little bit of trim on the sides that will actually pull the whole thing together. Y'all, that's not a very, professional way to term it, but it's going to pull the whole thing together. Your daughter ruined your scissors, and now her children do the same thing to her. That is so funny, Pamela. True, true, true. It's probably payback. It's probably payback because I'm kind of remembering comments like that from my mother about the scissors. Yes. Okay. So I've got 3 there. I'm going to add 1 more white. Y'all, and all you got to do is once you get all the ribbons together, kind of hold them in place and see if you want to add more of a certain color or if you're good with it. So this is what we have so far. It's kind of a mess. Don't you think? Oh, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Gail. Yes, Pamela, she tells you the same thing. If you used your scissors on wired ribbon, it will dull them. This is true, Shar, and I just did. And I think I have before, so good thought process. I don't always think that through. So what you want to do, I was back to the rhyme or reason with the different textures and ribbons. You want to layer them in different sections, but you want to start with the widest ribbon on the bottom. It just kind of is helpful. But at the end of the day, it's going to be almost like a little pom-pom when you're done. So it's going to be okay however you decide to do it. Whoops, this one was the starter piece and it's bent over, so I'm going to have to take it and cut it. Hang tight. Okay. So I'm going to put a burlap down first. Does the tin foil help sharpen? I don't know anything about that, Susan. Then I'm going to add the white. And literally, y'all, I'm not crisscrossing it. I'm literally just putting it on top, but I'm just giving it a little bit of wiggle room between the 2 pieces so that it peeks out so you can kind of see it a little bit, okay? So I'm putting the more basic colors at the bottom. So I'm putting the plain green. This is how this looks. It's starting to separate. That's not what this is what I'm going for. All right. And then I'm going to add the stripes. And literally, y'all, I'm making this up as we chat because I have not made this yet, or with these ribbons. And then the plaid. It's going to go on top of that, and then the polka dot last, okay? And then I'm just going to repeat that pattern, and I'm just going to keep making this bow a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So another burlap, another white, and you can do it, again, in whatever order you want, in whatever fashion you want. And like we said, these aren't even all the same number of strips. So it ain't gonna turn out where they're just equal. All right, I'm gonna put a plaid next. Sorry, y'all, I have to focus. That's why I'm not looking up at the comments right now. And then we're gonna put another burlap down. And then we're gonna just go with, I don't know if I need to add another white, y'all. You'll get to the point where you look at it and you're wondering, oh, burlap will dull my scissors too, Barbara? Okay, good to know, you guys. I've been dulling my own scissors and blaming others. Maybe I'll go ahead and add the white one more time. Just that bigger color, that bigger pop of color, you don't want it to take over the project. So you just kind of want to be a little more sparing. I'm going back with the green. Then I'm going to have the stripes. And then the plaid. And then the polka dot, which is my favorite. And then we're going to do burlap again. I'll show y'all in just a second where we're at. This is too much white. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to go back with the stripes, the plaid, the polka dot, and then a burlap on the very top. Okay, so this is what I have. It's a whole bunch of ribbons, okay? So there's 2 different ways I've shown y'all that you can make these. You can wrap them around your hand, which we've done before, or you can literally cut the ribbons like this ahead of time. And then we're just gonna simply use a zip tie and we're gonna tie them in the middle, okay? So I'm gonna set it back down and then I'm just gonna take a zip tie. I'm gonna go underneath and I'm going to zip tie it up the middle. And then, as you can hear it, I'm going to flip it around to the back so that it ties in the back. I'm going to do it really tight. You hear it? Okay, I think that's as tight as it'll go. So this is what I have so far, okay? And then I am going to snip with not the fabric scissors, the regular scissors, the zip tie. I'm going to cut that off. And then we're just going to literally start pulling all the pieces towards the center, okay? This is what makes it messy. I'm going to start with all of it at once, bringing it all to the center. And then I'm going to flip-flop them from the opposite sides. So if it's on the one side, I'm pulling it over to the other, and vice versa, and kind of twist it around at the same time. So you just want to mess with this and play with this. Like I don't remember your name, but said that she just winged it. You literally can just wing it. And it looks like the longer the strips you make, the more strips you want to have. So if it's a small messy bow, you don't need as many pieces of material. But if it's a big messy bow, to make it messy, you want a lot of material. So here's where I'm at. Let me show you kind of where we are with the messiness. See? It's a big one, y'all. It's a big one. But do you see all the different textures and colors? And do you see how they work together? So they're kind of in the same family, but we've got the polka dot, we've got the stripes, we've got the plaid, we've got the plain colored green, the plain colored white, and then that pop of burlap that gives it texture and gives it a little bit of something neutral to grab onto. So this is the messy bow. And then you can always find the center down in here, and you can add, like I showed you this morning, this afternoon, a little jingle bell in there, and you can make it have a jingle bell. You can add a pine cone. I'm gonna add some bling. You guys know I like to add the bling to like everything. So another thing I can do to this, just so you know, I can go back and I can grab it from behind. So this is the behind. I can grab it back here like a bouquet, and I can bring it up here, cup it in my hands into a little ball like this, and I could trim it. I can trim it. I probably will. I can trim it to be either all the same size at the top to make it a little more uniform, like a pom-pom, or you can leave it with all the different, and then you just wiggle it out. And there it is again. Looks like I could have used a little more green. I don't know why the green's not standing out. Maybe my green pieces weren't as long. But anyway, this is with it shorter. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of bling. Oh, well, welcome, Sherry. How would you secure that to a door hanger? Totally easy. Take another zip tie. This one just happens to be black. And go back underneath this first zip tie. Great question, Dawn. Anyway, go back underneath this first zip tie, preferably before you do it too tight. I did it pretty tight. It was starting to go through here, but you get my idea. You go through here. It's through now. It just came out the other side. And then you can use this like this, secure it to something completely else. Okay, so now I can take this messy bow. Sorry, it's backwards for me, y'all. It's hard for me to get it straight. And then I can tie it onto something else. Like this. So this is ready to put on, I don't know, anything. You could take this, do y'all remember the candle I made with the clings on it? You can actually just take this and zip tie this to the top, instead of a regular bow, you could do a messy bow. And then you have this for the top of a candle. But yeah, this could go on the door hanger like that, Dawn. So I'm gonna pop this off, and I'm gonna go back to adding the bling. We're gonna pick a bling, y'all. This is so fun to pick a bling. Probably going to go with something big, of course. I always like it to be big. Oh, that's really pretty, y'all. This is, I'll show you this one. And I have my hot glue gun ready. Thanks, Tammy. I appreciate it. Sorry, that was my alarm. Let me show you this one. It's like a little, it's too glary. It's like a little snowflake. There we go. It's like a little snowflake. I can barely show it to you. So I'm going to try to find the center here, and I'm just going to stick a big wad of, pardon me, hot glue on it, on the actual bling. Okay. And then I'm just going to place this right in the center of the messy bow, and then we'll just kind of see how that turns out. I think it's going to be cute. Okay. So the trick with that is to try to get it to get down in there, but not so far down in there that you can't see it anymore. Okay, y'all, this turned out really, really, really pretty. Tammy, that's what you were going to say, snowflake. Yes, it looks just like a snowflake. So here is less pom-pom, more like a messy bow. But do you see the snowflake in the middle with the bling? You can't hardly tell it's bling, but this is pearls, and then this is rhinestones in the center. So Gail, I get the bling. You can find it in the blog post for my messy bow, but you can also find it on the site at southerncrushathome.com/bling, and I'll put the link up in the top when we're done. Oh, thank you. Yes, this is the end. This is the messy bow, the messy Christmas bow. I hope you guys like it. I hope you love it. Let me see here real quick. Can anybody tell me how many minutes it's been? I always want to know how many minutes it's been since I've been talking. Don't forget that we are giving away, I'm using my elbow, this, if you do this down here on the block, we're putting you in to win one of these. So you would get entered to win a home for the holidays. You're so welcome, Gail. So this is our messy bow. It's huge. This one turned out really big, but again, if I thought it was too big, I could always clump it up. I could trim it down, give it a haircut, and then it would be shorter and smaller. And then you can always do what I did, which was add the something in the middle. You can add a jingle bell, a pine cone, a little red truck, whatever you want. I just like to add the bling. There it is up close. And then sometimes I don't add anything to the center and just leave it messy. So you can always leave it messy. Okay, 23. Oh, thank you, Shar. I appreciate it. I was just wanting, because Facebook really likes you to be on a certain amount of time. So I just want to make sure I did that, and I did. So you guys have an amazing evening. I appreciate every single person that sprinkled the video. You guys are amazing. I wanted to share the Christmas messy bow with you. Spread the word. You guys try this for yourself. Don't forget, it just takes, a bunch of strips, usually fabric. This happens to be vintage ribbon and regular ribbon. And then zip tie, and then fluff it all to the center. And then you have your messy bow. And if you want to add something in the center, you can. So, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you're going to make one, Melissa. You already had snow in North Dakota, Susan. Oh, my word. That's so exciting. You love making them, Christine. I am so glad. Thank you, Tammy, for sprinkling. You guys, if you haven't already joined our club, go to the top. I forgot to mention that. Go to the top and join the club. It's free, and that is where we share ideas like this one inside. And we're going to be having the Christmas craftathon in there on the 23rd. And I didn't announce that, y'all. Thank you, Kay. First time welcome. So on the 23rd, we're going to be doing a Christmas craftathon. 36 crafters are going to be going live back to back every 20 minutes for 12 hours, y'all. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I hope you guys make sure you go up and join that so you don't miss out on that. And be sure to mark that you're going on that event. It's up here in the group, or it's up here on the top of my page too. So, yay, Susan, you're making one too. And Carla, awesome. You guys have an amazing evening and I appreciate you. Bye.